It is sometimes called the Pearl of the Orient by those who have been there. But on the map, it is known throughout the English-speaking world by the name Hong Kong. Hong Kong itself is an island, a breezy 10-minute ferry ride out from the mainland port of Kowloon, past the tiny junks, limned against the massive magnificence of the downtown Hong Kong skyscrapers. Terminal point of the ferry, the Star Pier on Hong Kong. The boat disgorges cars and people ready for the business day. Morning rush hour. Most of the ferry riders are commuters who have clerical jobs in the downtown office buildings. These are the busiest moments for traffic policemen. There is little jaywalking in this city where the rules are strictly enforced. You can be fined as much as $1,500 for even spitting on the street in Hong Kong. The Wall Street of Hong Kong, Victoria City, headquarters for most banks and corporation offices. To cope with the problem besieging most cities these days, finding space to park a car, the authorities have authorized construction of many municipal parking lots. In the manner of a European city, many small parks offer enclaves of cool green here and there throughout the metropolis. What's so fascinating? Why, a newly wedded couple, of course. In a gilded frame, the photograph will grace a living room of a Mr. and Mrs. for years and years. Since the size of the island is only 300 square miles, the tendency is for buildings to be constructed high and narrow, rather than sprawling laterally over many acres. Consequently, the consulates of various foreign nations will often share space in an office building. Each consulate is distinguished by an appropriate national flag fluttering from a window pole. Buses rumble past, one after another. Tough competition for the services offered by the ever-present rickshaw drivers, the double-decker trolley cars. It looks like a tight squeeze, but the trolley cars seem to make it all right. Then on down the street, festooned with brightly colored advertising banners on both sides. A Chinese arcade is always an attraction for tourists and bargain hunters. Since 99% of the population is Chinese, the signs, of course, are written in Chinese characters. Red changes to green, and we go up toward the top of Victoria Peak, which looms over the rear of the city to offer a stunning view of the Pearl of the Orient. Second to Victoria City in importance is the section of North Point with its Happy Valley Racetrack. But right at the moment, no thoroughbreds strain at the starting gate. It's a football game. British football, that is. North Point is a newly developed entertainment area. Busloads of pleasure seekers arrive eagerly from all over Hong Kong. It's a shopping center as well. Branch stores of important Japanese department stores attract would-be bargain hunters. But on an island, one can find that the end of a busy street may well be a wharf astir with small boats and sampans. What to do to beat the housing shortage? Why, set up residence on the water, of course. More than 100,000 people in Hong Kong live on small boats of all shapes and sizes. The cramped confines of a sampan offer an obvious contrast with the impressive new apartment residences overlooking the water. Hong Kong is people, crowds of them, on boats, in apartments, in cars parked bumper to bumper along the streets. Since the end of World War II, more than 600,000 human beings have escaped communist China to seek refuge on this small island. Hurriedly constructed apartment houses cannot possibly keep up with a constantly increasing population. And each week, the jungle of jerry-built shacks spreads out further and further on the hills and slopes of Hong Kong. Above the slum city of shacks and shelters, like a supremely triumphant royal kingdom, sits famous Tiger Balm Garden. Formerly the villa of a Chinese millionaire, it is now an amusement park for the general public. Tiger Balm is the trade name of the medicine and salve which made the owner of these properties a fabulously wealthy man. Why do they come to Tiger Balm Garden? To see the gaudily colored ceramic statues, to absorb something of the bizarre, eccentric taste of the millionaire who created all this. Leave Tiger Balm Park and take the road leading to the south side of Hong Kong. Aberdeen was the original port of Hong Kong. It is still the entranceway for the fish catch that sustains the diet of the people on this crowded island. Thousands of junks and sampans move in and out when they are not resting idly on the placid waters. Night comes to Aberdeen. Sampans glide into motion, ferrying passengers to the many restaurants around the bay and on the water. The chant of boatwomen at the oars, ferrying diners to the floating restaurants, sounds deliciously across the water. The feature of these Aberdeen floating restaurants is for the diner to choose his own fish, live, which is then cooked to his order. The interior, brightly lit with exotic Chinese chandeliers, vies with a glittering neon outside to form a background for a memorable evening of dining out on the balmy waters of Aberdeen. And so passes a night in Hong Kong, a night afire with the excitement brought to it by the magic of electric light, as well as the expectation of millions that with the dawn of the next day, the happy promise of the night will be the happy reality for tomorrow.